로스트 호라이즌. 드디어 저번에 이제 아틀란티스? 또 그 사원을 찾으러 왔는데 사원이 잠겨있죠. 네, 안녕하세요.
These plants are firmly attached.
혹시 오늘 이 게임을
I can't
처음
just pull them away.
처음 본다 하시는 분들은 유튜브에 로스트 호라이즌 시리즈를
Perhaps some of the temple's still
처음부터
intact. I've got to check it out.
있습니다.
At least the water's nice and warm.
와우.
You know, it all started innocently enough. Flies.
상어?
Nothing dangerous about flies.
예, 약간
Then
인디아나
there was the
존스
cat.
같아요.
Then the
살짝.
sheep. The tiger. Now sharks. Bloody sharks. I'd better steer clear of him. At least the temple looks intact. I'd better head back to the shore before he spots me. Okay. I have to get rid of that shark if I'm going to reach the temple.
전 이 게임이 엄청 진지한 게임인 줄 알았는데 알고
This
보니까
statue is all
개그야.
that's left to be seen of the temple. The rest disappeared underwater when the lagoon formed.
어떻게 하면 상어를 쫓아낼 수 있을까요?
They definitely burn well, but I don't really need a torch right now. I'll fill it with water.
물을 왜 담을까? 근데 물을 왜 담는지 모르겠는데. 여기 나가봐야겠다. 얻을 수 있는 게 더 없나?
Let's get up there and take a look.
그렇지, 올라가 보자. 어우, 열심히 올라가네.
This wreck's old.
오.
The jungle's begun eating into it. There's a cardboard box in relatively good condition in the glove compartment, but everything else is foobar. The cover is attached with 4 hexagonal
도구가
nuts.
필요하다고?
I need something to unscrew them.
노끈? 아니야? 천조각? 아니야? 항아리? 아니야?
Let's see what's in this
상자는 뭐가
box.
있길래?
Looks like an old radio.
A radio with a hand-operated generator.
오.
You produce power by turning this little crank on the side. Oh, it fell off.
shit.
The little crank fell out of the hex. I don't need to. Besides, my gut tells me
뭐야?
this thing may not be up to modern electrical safety regulations. Wow, blind luck.
오.
The radio crank fits right into the
좋아,
bolts on
좋아.
the cover. Ah, there's an electrics cable under here. Might come in handy.
아, 이걸로 막 감전시키면 되지 않나? 내려오고. 아유, 스팀 이거 잠깐 이거 좀 끌게요. 설정. 게임 중에 잠깐 이거 좀 끄겠습니다. 밑에 자막이 막 가리고 그러면은 여긴 뭐 더 없는 것 같고 나가죠. 마을에 찾아볼 게 더 뭐 있는지 봅시다. 내가 볼 때 상어는 피해 반응을 하잖아요.
It's dried up.
피로 어떻게 유인을
This should
시키면 되지
moisten the
않나?
blood stain.
내 생각이 왠지 맞는 것 같아. 그래서 이 천조각으로
I've soaked the cloth in the
오케이.
blood.
그 다음에 이걸로 뭐 어떡하지? 케이블?
I'll tie the rag
아,
to one end of the
야,
cable.
감전시킬 수 있겠다. 그래서 이거를
I'll
라디오에
connect one end
연결하고
of the cable to the contacts on the radio.
그 다음에 이걸로
I don't need to use. Besides,
아무튼 뭐 이렇게 하면 될 것 같아요. 다른 거 뭐 더 할 수 있는 게 없나? 일단 가자. 이걸로 상어놈을 보내죠.
The radio could
오케이,
be
오케이. 아,
charged
이번
electrically,
퍼즐은 좀
and
쉽네요.
that charge could then be conducted down the cable. Sharks, I'm sure,
그치.
are sensitive beings at heart. Even a small shock should be enough for him to turn tail. Of course, he's right on the lagoon bed. I'll need him to be right on top of the cable for it to work. Hopefully the smell of blood will be enough to attract his attention.
아, 스팀 오버레이 왜 아직도 뜨지? 오, 온다.
It's working. The shark's surfaced,
아,
and he's circling the bait. I need...
아, 오버레이 자꾸 뜨네. 살짝 게임 중에 친구 됐어. 좋아, 가자.
Whap! 40 volts straight to the
40 볼트.
face.
찌찌직. 와우.
Fence and
100만
paddock,
볼트는 아니었지만
top of the food chain. Time to get down there and check out this temple.
갑시다. 야, 이거 위에 숨통 있어. 오씨, 너무 현실적인 거 아닙니까?
How am I supposed to get in?
쇠막대. 열어봐.
It won't be enough to lever it open.
야, 일단 올라가.
I'm...
아니! 극혐. 이게 무슨 일이죠? 몰라. 텍스처 그냥 일반으로 해봐. 어이가 없네요. 그거 다시 해야 돼. 잠깐만. 다시 해야 돼. 극혐.
My guide, Perhaps I've...
빨리빨리 진행하겠습니다.
Okay.
I'll fill it with water.
Let's get up.
올라가는 걸 일일이 다 봐야 돼? 스킵이 안 돼.
The cover. Let's... the little... Wow.
좋아요. 이것도 오래 걸려. 좋아, 가자. 마을 물 붓고
This should more...
천으로 한 다음에
I've soaked...
가자.
I'll connect.
오케이, 저장.
Sure, I've hoped... It's working. I need. Wow.
좋아 좋아. 100만 볼트. 찌지직. 그렇지.
Fenton, time.
저장 좀요. 일단 막대 하나 짚고. 짚고 또 뭐 있나? 바닥에 뭐 있어?
Weed?
올라가자. 깜짝이야.
I have my strengths, but breathing underwater.
숨참기는 못하는구나. 이 막대로 어떻게 할 수 없나?
These plants have.
떨어지지가 않는다고? 이걸로 빵이야.
There.
돌기도.
There's a small car.
뭐지?
There's a jagged carving in the stone column here.
장볼이요? 저도 지금 옆에 TV에서 장볼이 나와요. 이게 장볼이야. 처음 봐, 엄마는? 이제 어떻게 해야 될까? 금속 막대. 뭐 조각이 있네?
It's carved into the stone. There's not much I can do with it.
용의 눈. 안 돼? 노끈. 안 돼? 부싯돌. 안 돼? 집단. 안 돼?
They definitely.
어떡하지? 이 조각을 저기다 끼우는 것 같죠? 아무리 봐도.
Weed? I'll collect some mud.
몰라, 이제 진흙을 일단 챙기고. 내가 볼 때는 이 조각이 저 밑에 있는 거 그건 거 같거든요? 진흙을 어떻게 못 파나? 진흙을 왜 챙겼니?
It's carved into the.
어떻게 못 빼내나? 굽는다고요? 뭐 진흙 치고 폭파는 뭐야?
Weed?
근데 그건 안 될 것 같아. 그러면은 잠깐만, 구워야 되잖아. 그럼 저 모양 틀을 어떻게 굽죠? 그게 문제인데. C4요? 이 시대에 C4가 있나?
I could heat the clay.
기둥에다가 진흙을? 안 돼요. 기둥에다가 진흙이 안 돼.
네.
그걸 뭐 어떻게 해야 되나 본데. 이걸로 안 되는 것 같아요.
They
보말.
The waters surrounding the temple ruins are finally shark-free. Fenton can now devote his attention to the next problem.
딱 봐도 저거 모양 틀을 굽는 것 같은데.
Just mud. Weed?
더 나가봐. 그니까 항아리를 뭐 어디다 따로 옮겨야 될 것 같은데, 이거를. 여긴 뭐 없나? 늪지대? 여기 아닌가?
The old man walked to the neighboring village to tell them
아, 할아버지는 다시 올 일이 없나 보네.
I loved climbing trees. Nowadays, I loved now.
나무 타지도 않는다고 하고. 까지 여기 뭐
I
구워봤자야.
could heat the clay.
지금 구워봤자기 때문에
I need to stay here.
아, 뭐 어떻게 해야 될까?
Wet, muddy clay. This metal rod, an empty, a bundle, two, a long, the eye of the dragon.
어떻게 해야 되지? 그러니까 진흙으로 제가 볼 때는 이거를 여기 굽는 거예요. 딱 봐도.
How am I?
종이상랑 진흙 뭐 그런 거 안 돼요. 되는 게 없어.
The temple.
노끈? 노끈이랑 조합이 되는 게 없어.
They definitely. They definitely.
어떻게 해야 될까?
An em.
나무 줄기. 어? 뭐야?
It's pretty thick.
당겨지지도 않아? 오케이! 아, 좋아요.
I severed the vine.
수액!
It's. Men can moisturize too, you know.
아, 수분 보충. 줄기 뭐 어떻게 할 수 없나?
I'll soak the reeds with some
수액을
of
왜
the sap.
묻히지? 왜 묻히죠, 이거를? 아, 나 기억났어. 여러분, 석고 뜰 때요. 석고의 그 조형을 뜰 때 그 겹치는 부분을 비눗물로 칠해요. 그게 왜 그러냐면은 떼어낼 때 서로 석고끼리 붙지 않도록 하는 그런 역할을 하거든요. 그 수액이 이 역할을 하는 거야. 그래서 이제 돌기둥에 아마 바를 거예요. 아, 안 바르네. 뭐 태우는 거야? 뭐 한 거야, 이거?
The reeds absorb.
아니, 당연히 이거 하는 거 아닙니까? 아, 어이가 없네.
It's carved.
아니, 왜 있는 거야, 이거? 아, 수액 왜 있죠? 이건가? 아니야. 물에서? 아, 잠깐만. 더 없나? 수액이 다.
My hands are already soft.
이게 다야? 모닥불도 아니야. 아, 아니 내가 알기로는 그렇게 하거든요? 저 예전에 학교에서 석고 그런 거 할 때.
I loved climbing. Now it's a tree.
아이고. 아, 뭐 할 수 있는 게 없네. 아니, 수액을 적셨는데 이제 뭐 하지?
It's carved.
네, 가운데 있는 석상.
This statue is all that's left to be seen of the temple. The rest disappeared underwater when the lagoon formed.
아, 뭐지? 뭘 어떻게 해야 되지?
My hands are all...
아, 뭔가 조합할 수 있는 게 없어.
The old man... I could he...
어떻게 해야 되는 거지? 어떻게 아무런 뭐야 집단덕이
I've
또
already
있어?
got some. I need to stay... I loved climbing. Nowadays...
부싯돌로야? 뭘 태우?
They're dry. They'd go up a treat.
마을에 불 지르면 안 된대요. 아, 아무런 감이 안 온다. 이런 적 처음이야. 이렇게 어려운 적은 처음이다 진짜. 아무리 봐도 이거를 어떻게 해야 되는데? 이거 못 주워요. 할 수 있는 게 없어. 그러니까 석상에다가요?
It won't be enough to leave...
네, 안녕하세요. 이거?
This stat...
못 따라요. 노크다고 영향이 있는 게 아무것도 없어. 어? 물이 닿네?
The cardboards...
뭐지? 젖은 종이 상자? 뭘까? 젖은 종이 상자?
I softened the cardboard in water.
이제 어떻게 하는 걸까요?
I softened... I softened the...
그래도 변한 게 없어.
It's car...
바닥에 다시 가봤자.
Weed?
없어요. 가봤자. 달라진 게 없어.
Weed?
하하, 뭘까.
It's carved into the stone. There's not much I can do with it. I could heat the clay.
어떻게 해야 될까요? 아, 이렇게 막히다니. 이럴 순 없어. 아, 두뇌 풀가동
I loved
풀가동을 해야
climbing.
되는데.
Nowadays,
이 커다란 나무는 뭔데 하나도 도움이 되질 않는 거지? 기둥이야, 내 못 넣어요.
there's a good.
뭐야? 뭐 아무것도 안 돼요.
I softened.
아, 어떻게 해야 되나?
Wet. I to the to the wet the wet.
아, 가능한 게 없어. 막대기 이용해서 여는 거야? 안 열려요.
It won't be enough to lever it open.
다 눌러봤는데 합성이 안 돼요. 힌트요? 힌트가 이겁니다.
The waters surrounding the temple ruins are finally shark-free. Fenton can now devote his attention to the next problem. How is he going to get inside the ancient structure?
캬. 아, 물에 뜬 거 이거 상어 쫓아내려고 했던
guide
거예요.
said- My guide. It's carved. There's a this
아, 어떻게 하는 걸까? 아, 이렇게 막힌 적은 진짜 처음이야.
ouch. I've already got some.
한다고? 로프 안 돼요.
They're dry. Ouch! I could heat the clay, but it's not much use in the bottom of this jug.
아, 어떻게 해야 되나. 아,
There are some reeds lying. Ugh. My hands are already soft and smooth. My guide said this lagoon was formed a few centuries ago.
다른 데요? 다른 데가 없어요. 여기 세 곳밖에 못 다녀요. 뭐가 더 필요한지 모르겠어. 지금 상호작용 할 수 있는 거 다 한 거란 말이에요.
This statue. The temple looks more or less.
늪지대요? 잠시만요. 네.
My hands are already soft and smooth.
어떻게 해야 되나. 공략집이요? 이 부분만 좀 알려주세요. 지금 이것만 지금 시간 지금 한 20분은 지체된 것 같은데. 그냥 여기 바로 다음 액션만 알려주세요. 챕터 몇이냐고? 몇이지? 몰라요. 돌기둥에 집단을 바르라고? 안 되는데? 안 발라져요. 발라지지가 않아요.
There's a jack. It's calm.
대사가 나와야 된다고? 아, 이걸 확인해야 되는 거구나.
It's a huge gate with a jagged indentation. A jagged... The recess... There seems to be some kind of mechanism back here.
아, 이렇게 한번 해야 되네. 아, 됐네요. 더 이상의 공략은 필요 없습니다. 이제 해결할 수 있어요.
This carving looks
Okay,
like the
okay.
same symbol as the indentation on the temple
드디어
doorway.
해결이 되네. 아, 극혐이야.
If it's good for my skin, it can't do any harm to an old rock. I'll oil it up.
아, 그러니까 괜히 돌아다녔어.
Perfect. This should make for a good mould. The damp cardboard will dry around the carving, and the plant oil should let me get it off again in one piece. The cardboard's dried in the heat. If I just remove it
좋아요.
carefully, and yes, a beautiful cardboard mould.
오케이,
I
부어.
filled the cardboard mould with clay.
이제 부읍시다.
Let's hope it's hot enough to fire the clay. That should do it. The cardboard's burned away, and the clay looks pretty solid.
오케이.
It's lying in the Got it.
Got it. 오, 완전 그 발자국처럼 됐네요. 갑시다. 열쇠가 만들어졌네. 들어가자고. 완전 힘들었네. 그 대화 하나 안 했다고. 그러니까 우리의 생각하고 이 친구가 생각이 들게
We're in
만들어야
business.
돼요.
How has no water
우와, 우와.
reached this part of the temple?
오.
It smells old and dank. But at least I can breathe.
벽화.
There's a round stone jutting out of the wall here. I'll grab it. Here's another stone.
뭐 돌모으기인가? 몇 개나 있는 거야?
And another stone.
여섯 개나 있어? 돌기둥.
Okay. We've
아,
got 6
여섯 개 딱 넣는
circular
거네.
recesses arranged around a symbol. This must be where the artifact was stored all that time ago. I'd better take a closer look.
먼저 줍길 잘했네요. 잠깐 모양이 다 다른데?
I heard something move inside. Is it unlocked? I can't move it.
잠깐만.
It's a magnificent city with some kind of glowing orb in the center. This must be Shambhala, the light at the
Shambhala.
center. That must be the source of these morphogenetic fields. It's the world's soul.
이게 모양이
There's a plinth.
뭐지? 이게 6개여서 경우의 수로 맞추기도 좀 그렇고. 여기는 다 모양이 똑같은데? 아닌가? 조금 다르네. 이 돌기둥 자체의 문양인가? 잠깐만.
I should stay. It must be here.
아니야, 나갈 순 없고.
These glass windows. But this place was supposed to have been built. Christ. All these stories and legends. They're all beginning to feel very real. The same characters as the monastery in
이거
Tibet.
말하는 거 같은데?
This is definitely the right place. Aha. The stones can be pushed down into the
뭐야?
platform.
아, 뭐야. 괜히 뒤져봤네.
Finally. The second key. I've traveled 3 continents just to find this thing. I should be happy. Or at least relieved. But there's something bothering me. Something at the back of my mind. I'm finally holding in my hands the key to
이런
Shambhala.
기분은 뭐긴.
The key to
힘 두고
rescuing
왔잖아.
Richard. And I've got this weird feeling about it all. Is that my conscience? Damn. I thought I lost the thing years ago. Maybe all this wasn't such a good idea. How many people have already died for this thing? And how many more will die if I open the gate to Shambhala? Beyond all the myths and the legends, there has to be something real at the end of it all. There is something behind that gate that shouldn't be messed with. I don't know. Maybe it's this place, or maybe I'm just tired, but I can't help but think back to Hong Kong Harbor. I made a split-second decision to save Richard. And it was the wrong one.
이제
I won't
그동안에
make the same
뭔가
mistake again. I don't have the luxury of
양심이
special
드디어 좀
circumstances as an
생기나 봐요.
excuse this time. And this time, there's a lot more at stake. Kim said you can't weigh one life against another. Last time, my mistake cost 8 lives. This time, it could be thousands. I've got to accept the reality. I can't go back to Tibet. I have to go back to where it all began.
뭐야 갑자기?
I have to
차도
justify
안
the
구해?
most difficult decision of my entire life.
뭐야? 홍콩으로 돌아왔어.
Lord Weston,
Yes?
Mr. Paddock is back.
What? What are you waiting for? Send him in,
이런
quickly.
전개는 처음인데? 아니 샴발라 가서 리차드 구하는 것도 아니고 홍콩으로 돌아와?
Fenton, you have no idea how relieved I am to see you.
Lord Weston,
Do you have any news of my son? Is he alive?
I'm afraid it's not that simple, Governor.
Is Richard dead? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, he's still alive, I think.
Oh, thank God. Do you need more money? How can I help you? Just say the word, I'll do everything within my power.
Sir, I know where your son is. I even have the key to the gate that leads to his location. The problem is, I can't be answerable for opening that gate.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Richard is in a place in the Himalayas called Shambhala. For some reason, he fled there when his unit was attacked by Nazi troops. Maybe it was the only way he could prevent the Nazis from entering Shambhala. The point is, that place holds a secret so vital, it cannot be permitted to fall into the wrong hands at any cost. This is what I've come to realize. The second key could undo everything Richard has worked for. If I reopen the gate in order to follow him, I'd risk letting the Nazis into Shambhala. Lord Weston, we have to destroy the second portal key. I'm sorry, but the dangers it represents are simply too great.
What are you saying? You suggest that we leave my son, your friend, to his fate?
Lord Weston, you know what Richard means to me. You know what I've sacrificed for him. Believe me, if there were any other way, I would take it. I know it's hard to accept, but after everything I've seen and experienced, I just can't continue with this mission. I'm here today to ask for your understanding.
I cannot believe I'm hearing this. You sentence my son to death, and you come here asking for absolution. I was wrong about you, Paddock. If you are unable to handle the situation, I shall have to find someone who is.
As I said, I'm very sorry, Lord Weston. But I've made my decision. I'm going to destroy the key.
I'm afraid that decision is no longer in your hands.
What is this? You're collaborating with the Nazis, Governor!
세상에.
I had no choice, Fenton. Mr. Kleist claimed to know where Richard was. He said he could return him to me. I was skeptical, but a father will cling to even the slightest shred of hope. I never gave up hope that you would solve the situation, and that I could quickly end my collaboration with the Nazis. But now I realize that I backed the wrong horse.
Governor, this is a mistake.
그렇지.
I'm prepared to take that risk.
Herr Paddock, I wonder if you would be so kind as to accompany me to the airport. You have an appointment in Tibet that you absolutely cannot miss.
이럴 줄 알았어.
We meet again, Mr.
아, 결국
Paddock.
이렇게 되는구만. 다 같이 샴발라에
It's a
가겠네요.
dubious pleasure, Countess. But I guess you've become rather accustomed to having me around.
Had I been given the choice, you would be lying in your wretched Hong Kong shack with a hole between your eyes, believe me. I console myself knowing this will be the last time your good fortune keeps you alive. I hardly imagine you are aware of the fact, but you must at least have felt the transfer of energy when you held the second artifact in your hands, yes? Paddock, you have connected with the key. You are now the only person capable of using it.
You mean you can't get into Shambhala without little old me?
Precisely.
And you think I'm going to help you?
But of course, there can be no doubt.
I hate to break it to you, love, but if I really am your last option, you're rather scraping the bottom of the barrel. Your expedition
막
ends
킴
here.
데려오는 거 아니야 갑자기?
Tut, tut, Mr. Paddock. You are always so hasty to judge before knowing all the facts. I am well aware of the lengths you would go to keep Shambhala from us. You would merrily abandon your greatest friend for that very
아
reason.
역시
But I
킴을
wonder,
데리고
would you
협박하겠죠.
so capriciously condemn to death
드디어
your
오랜만에
pretty little
보겠네.
accomplice?
Kim,
You would merrily abandon your greatest friend for that very reason. But I wonder, would you so capriciously
역시
condemn to
살아있었군.
death your pretty little accomplice? Oh, please don't look so dejected. At least you have one less life on your conscience. Well, if you cooperate, that is. Please don't make me describe to you what will happen to your girlfriend should you fail to comply. I think you have the imagination to make the right decision.
Kim, are you okay?
Just about.
Well,
Okay, okay.
아 역시
Let her go and I'll do whatever you want.
I would dearly love to grant you this wish, but alas, it may be that your friend can make herself useful on the other side of the portal. No, she stays with us, but she gets to live a little longer.
Fine. What do you want me to do?
Place the second key in the recess on the pedestal. We will talk some more in Shambhala.
샴발라. 오 열린다.
Fenton!
리차드다.
Fenton, wake up!
What?
히스레저 닮은
Fenton!
리차드.
What?
뭐 유령이야? 죽었어?
Richard? Richard, is that you?
Of course it's me.
뭐야?
Are you feeling okay?
You... Why do you look like a ghost?
Oh, charming. You came all this way just to tell me I've seen better days.
I don't understand. My head hurts.
Apparently your sense of humor is still en route. Well, what is there to say but... Welcome to Shambhala. It was good to see Wang's niece again, but I would have preferred it if you'd left
이게
the
뭐야?
Nazis on the other side.
Kim! Where is she?
She landed in the central cavern along with the Countess. I managed to convince the Guardians of this place to separate you and bring you here instead.
Guardians? You mean there are still people here?
No, not in present-day Shambhala. Just you, Kim, and a few dozen Nazis.
So, what the hell are you talking about then?
뭐야 뭐
And what happened to you?
승천했나?
Why are you all... flaky?
Ah, well, that's the story,
같이
isn't
수호자가
it?
된 거 아니야?
When I used the original key back in the monastery, it transported me to Shambhala. But the Shambhala of the past. It seems when the key was constructed thousands of years ago, the monks who stayed in the Kembalung Valley to guard it planned to use it to return here someday. I don't begin to understand how any of this works, but believe me when I say that this place holds extraordinary power.
So I've read. Something about morphogenetic fields.
Providing it a name implies an explanation for something inexplicable, but yes, if you like, morphogenetic fields. The High Priests described Shambhala as the heart of the world, but in truth, it's more
뭔
like the
소리인지
soul.
모르겠어.
If you want to see it in a scientific light, I suppose you could say that the energy of this place is what constitutes the life force of every living creature throughout time. Just as every single person has a soul that makes him the person that he is, every species has a soul that makes the species what it is. And the sum of all that resides here. The world soul.
Would you be shocked if I said this was all a little over my head?
I've been here for days and I still don't understand it. I don't believe we'll ever understand this place completely. Just take it as fact. There is an energy here, an imperceptible energy that bonds us all.
How imperceptible exactly?
Well, we are all linked to one another subconsciously. But it's true that certain people are able
집에
to
좀 화장실
detect the
좀 갔다
fields
올게요.
with more precision than others. We call them mediums or oracles. But the energy fields explain a lot more than that. Think about natural instincts, or phenomena such as mass panic. They're all a result of the ebb and flow of those subconscious links.
Well, it all sounds very grand, but what does it actually mean on a practical level? Are we in danger?
Fenton, imagine the heart of Shambhala as a gigantic archive, a pool of everything people have ever researched, discovered, or developed.
So, that's a yes then.
It is. The entire world converges right here.
And the Countess knows that.
But it's not just that. The center transcends time and space. He who controls it controls the sum of all human knowledge, past, present.
And future. They could conquer the world.
No, that's not the threat. The power of this place is too much for any person to control. Mankind doesn't have the maturity to handle this gift. Even the priests of primeval times failed.
So, this field of energy ended up making the residents of Shambhala kill each other in a civil war.
Correct.
How?
Imagine understanding everything, instantly. The spirit of a person would be subjected to extraordinary strain. They simply couldn't cope. Besides, there are darker forces at work. This archive is not limited to discoveries and inventions. It represents the entirety of the human condition. Jealousy, envy, hate, these define the human species just as much as learning
나
and
화장실 갔다 오는데
understanding,
아직도 안
and
끝났어?
have a corresponding influence here in
뭐 어떻게 돼가고
Shambhala.
있어요?
But, as I said before, it is not something
어떻게
we
이럴
can
수가
easily
있지?
understand.
Okay, fine. So we just wait for the Countess to open the center. I'll dash in, grab Kim, then we sit back and watch while they all kill each other.
You're absolutely right.
But
In my time, Fenton, the surviving priests are preparing to leave Shambhala for good. In order to protect the heart from misuse, they are performing a ceremony that will set up a force field around it. This field will allow only the bearer of a certain amulet to pass through.
아, BJ 다사감님
After the ceremony,
초콜릿 5개
the
감사합니다.
amulet will be divided into 3 pieces and hidden in the temples of 3 priest castes who once ruled here.
hey, even better. The Nazis won't get past square one.
No! They've begun to plant explosives.
폭탄?
The field is maintained in your time by a series of plinths. It would take a great deal of power, but they may be able to destroy them. We have to stop them, Fenton. They may not be able to wield the power of Shambhala, But if the energy of this place is disrupted in any way, it
그쵸,
could
이게
have
에너지
catastrophic
균형이 뭐
effects for every
붕괴되면은
living creature
망한다고.
on the planet. We must act quickly.
We? I thought you were stuck in the past.
You're right. But you won't find the 3 amulet pieces without my help. If I understand it correctly, our times are now synchronized. We can communicate, but we cannot cross the boundary. In my time, the priests are only just now performing the ceremony to invoke the force field. So the amulet has not yet been hidden, and I have no way to know where it will be placed. But that doesn't mean to say I can't help you look for it.
And what am I supposed to do with the thing when I find it?
You will have to use the power of the source to drive off the Nazis.
As in the source that sends anyone who goes anywhere near it doolally? That source? Is there a plan B?
Don't worry. Once you find the dragon amulet, I will help you control it.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I couldn't agree more. The future of the war